What's up, agents? Zero here. Welcome back to another vlog style video, and I have some exciting news for you guys. I'm gonna be going to MineFaire. Now, before I go ahead and get started, I do have some questions for the 1K Q&A that I'm going to be answering closer to the end of the video, since I know a lot of you guys were kind of waiting on that. I kind of promised I was going to do it and then kind of like put it off for an incredibly long time. And that was back during 900 subs regardless. So, let's go ahead and get started with this whole MineFaire thing. So, first off, what exactly is MineFaire? Well, personally, I've never been to a MineFaire before, so let me know down in the comment section if I get any of this information wrong, because, well, as I said, I've never been to one, so I imagine there's going to be some stuff that I don't get 100% correct. So, it's essentially this, like, miniature Minecraft convention that happens in several places across the US. Maybe potentially happens in other places in the world. I'm not 100% sure, but effectively you get to meet, like, content creators such as myself. There's, like, some competitions. There's a costume contest from what I was able to get out of one of the event coordinators, which I actually have did a little discussion with to kind of figure things out. And there's a lot of other stuff going on there, which I'm actually looking forward to. I'm going to be going there as what is known as a rising star, which is essentially like a content creator making videos or live streams that's looking to kind of like expand basically their channel, I guess, in a sense, so that they can potentially not only meet people who know their channel and their type of content, but also someone who may have never even heard of them before, which is kind of awesome. This, as I said, is going to be one of my, technically my first time going to one of these types of events, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. There's a lot of stuff that I still don't fully understand, but I'll get to know it a little bit better once I actually get there, which is kind of nice. There will be a link down in the description to a place where you guys can go ahead and get tickets. They're like $60, something close to that, so definitely not really too cheap, but at the same time, it's only going to be a one-day ticket. It's actually kind of, again, a really, from what I can tell, really popular conventions. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas. And that information on where it's located will be in the description along with the ticket information. This is going to be happening on February 22nd and 23rd. So it's a Saturday and Sunday. So I'm giving you guys plenty of time in advance to get tickets, make reservations to go down there if you need to come from somewhere else in the US or maybe other parts of the world, which is perfectly fine. So, yeah, make sure to go ahead and do that if you guys are interested. If not, that's perfectly fine. So, yeah, so let's go ahead. Before we get into the Q&A, something I do want to go ahead and mention, it has to do with my controller. So, I've not been uploading a lot recently, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because, well, my right shoulder button actually ended up breaking, which, thankfully, unlike my previous controller, is a part that I can simply replace. I haven't had much luck finding it, but luckily I have a extra button I haven't been using, the B button, and I've not been uploading recently because A, I'm trying to get used to this new slightly awkward control setup, and B, I am also kind of like doing a lot of work on realms with some people that I already know from like October, November, something like that, not 100% sure. So yeah, that's part of the reason why videos are going to be coming out a lot more frequently, hopefully. And so yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this Q&A. And some of the people that I picked questions from asked more than one question. I chose one out of their list of questions to try and make things go a little bit faster. So first off, Dinksy Gaming asks, what's your favorite movie and why? Well, I like a bunch of different movies for different reasons, but if I had to choose like my all-time favorite movie, well, that's still going to be a little bit difficult, but the first one that comes to the top of my head is called Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is basically a spoof off of the original Robin Hood story. It's starring and directed by Mel Brooks, which anyone who knows anything about Mel Brooks knows that, first off, not intended for younger audiences because there's swearing and other inappropriate stuff, but it's also, like, incredibly hilarious. The jokes that they put in there are absolutely fantastic, and I think the reason why is because, well, it's a really amazing movie and it gives me some really good laughs. I mean, you guys can check it out if you want. Again, as I said, it's not intended for younger audiences, but if that's something that you're not going to have an issue with, well, I suppose you can check it out at some point. So next up, Mashrafi, I'm hoping pronouncing this correctly, Mashrafi Plays asks, how did you start playing Minecraft? Well, Bedrock Edition I've always technically played on my phone. I think I ended up starting playing it with touch controls before I finally got a game controller, but that's not how I technically got started. I know a long time ago there was this thing for Java Edition. This is before technically Bedrock Edition exists. I'm pretty sure Pocket Edition on phones, iOS and Android, did exist at the time, but that's not what I'm getting at. Java Edition at one point had this thing where when you download the demo for the game, it would actually be the full version of the game, except it would be like 1 or 2 updates behind what was currently out. Like, I don't know if that was necessarily like what was supposed to happen, or if wherever my siblings found it just happened to be a random site and they've managed to get it, but regardless. But that's basically how I started playing Minecraft, was technically speaking on Java Edition. It was a completely different system than what I have over here, which can't really do a whole heck of a lot other than just the basics. I can't even watch videos on it, just blue screens. But that's how I started technically playing Minecraft. And if I were to give you an example, like, maybe Minecraft at that point was like 1.4, something like that, and I would be playing on 1.2 because that's what the demo was. Not 100% sure what technically was, but that's kind of what was going on there. Okay, so TGC, my good friend TGC, you guys probably know him at this point. What's your plan for future content? Like, for example, video structure, editing style, and new kinds of content. So, I do want to introduce new kinds of content later on down the road. I still have some playing out for this Entity 303 thing that I did mention in a previous vlog, which, speaking of, TGC actually did all of the recording and editing for that trailer. I don't know if I mentioned that previously, but he did a fantastic job. I must admit that he did a really sweet job. I think I did help out a little bit. I can't fully remember what all I did, but anyway, to video structure and editing style, well, I do want to change that at some point, but as it currently stands, I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense. So, TWK asks, how did I get here? I don't know. How did you get here? Do you have 90 minutes? That's not even a joke I should be making because it's not my joke to make. But anyway, regardless, I actually do not know how to answer your question because I don't know what you mean by that question. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to answer that question until I get exactly what is you're trying to ask me, because I really don't know. Ultra asked, what's your video schedule? Unfortunately, it's sporadic. As I mentioned, my controller issue, well, that's part of the reason. And, well, normally I don't upload on weekends. I also don't record on weekends. So that's part of it. But as far as uploading, I don't really have a set schedule as of right now. I do want to try to upload as daily as possible, but sometimes things get in the way. Something I will go ahead and say for the record is that whenever I record a video, I usually end up recording the day prior to me uploading, and that's barring scheduling goes according to plan for uploading the video. So, for example, this video, I'm recording this on Tuesday, and if things go according to plan, this is going up on Wednesday, so technically tomorrow for me, for when I'm actually recording this. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense. Click to Game asked a ton of questions, and I chose one in particular that I think is probably a rather good question. Actually, probably the best question out of all of them that he asks. Which are the biggest projects for Better Unite? For those of you who are not aware, I am part of a map building group called Better Unite. Previously mentioned TGC and a few other people, Sammy, and someone by the name of Odo, which I don't really know who he technically is, like his real name, but regardless, that's probably not the best thing to say, but I digress. We have had a bunch of different things going on within our projects. There are some projects that we have planned right now that I cannot give details of as of right now. Admittedly, I did mention like this whole flipped map project that I did a like teaser of, well, not really a teaser, but like a proof of concept I did in a video for you guys. That's going to be coming on later down the road. No promises when that'll come out. But other than that, the biggest project, well, that's a tough question to answer. I mean, but technically before Better United existed, TGC and I together worked on this like 2-in-1 classic games map. It had like 800 some command blocks, something like that. And that was released like quite a while ago. I don't even remember the time frame, but that was quite a while ago. And so, at least more recently, the Rubik's Cube, I guess, would be our biggest project, at least as a whole, as far as Better Unite is concerned. Simply because, like, if you guys played the Rubik's Cube map by chance, then you would know that it has to rotate all of the items on the actual cube itself. There's a reset, there's a scramble, bunch of different stuff. So, I think, technically speaking, in a sense, that's probably the most impressive one so far, the biggest project, technically speaking. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense. And lastly, SEPTICSPUD, another one of my good friends. So he asks, how do you come up with the Minecraft investigations videos? And before I answer that question, make sure to check SEPTICSPUD down in the description below, because he has been live streaming on his channel on YouTube for quite some time, and I've actually been a guest on his past few live streams. I figured I'd go ahead and plug it for him so that you guys can go ahead and check him out and maybe catch me in some of his live streams. So hopefully that's something you guys are interested in. But back to his question. Well, first off, I haven't done an investigations video in quite some time, and I do want to get back on that relatively soon, but I was kind of inspired to do the investigations videos from a YouTuber by the name of O1G, who looks into like creepy seas that are supposedly haunted by specific entities, other creepy worlds, creepypasta stories. He does play on occasion not haunted maps, but horror maps, still technically starts with an H. And I got interested in that, and I want to kind of like, in a sense, follow in his footsteps. And the first few videos that I did, I was like, basically trying to come up with theories on why certain things that he was encountering was happening, things of that nature, and then I started getting into things on my own, in a sense. The previous videos that I've done have all been regarding actual creepypasta stories, not really the creepypastas themselves as entities, but the stories around them. And I want to get back to that at some point, because I do have some plans with that. Yeah, hopefully that answers that question. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be true for every single future investigation video, but that's not really important for right now, I don't think. But other than that, that's actually where I'm going to go ahead and end off the video. So, in recap, the MineFaire thing, that's going to be happening at the end of next month, February, so make sure to get things prepared if you guys want to go ahead and see me then. That's why I'm actually making this video ahead of time, so you guys can make preparations for that. I don't know how long tickets will be on sale, I will admit, but at least I'm giving you a heads up. Controller issue, and then there's your questions for you guys for the Q&A. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. But more, make sure that subscribe for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I'll see you guys later.